meeting to order. I'll have the clerk just note roll call, and Commissioner Rowe is tied up at a mandatory meeting at his primary job, so he will not be here tonight. Everyone, I believe, has seen a copy of last month's minutes. If there are not any questions or any need for discussion, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I make the motion we approve last month's meeting.
Motion made by Dan. Do I have a second?
Second.
By JT. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. This is public hearing number 742. Establish no parking on the even side of Franklin Street from the intersection of Western Avenue to the intersection of Baker Street. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor?
A letter from Sergeant Chick. I received an inquiry request about no parking on the even side of Franklin Street from Western Avenue to Baker Street. The parking as it is now is mostly on the sidewalk because there is not enough room to have vehicles parked legally on both sides of the street. If tagged for parking on the sidewalk and they park legally on the street, will create more problems. I checked the ordinances, see attached, and a couple of them seem to indicate that there should be no parking in this area, but they are not completely clear. There is one no parking sign, although faded, in the area of 108 Franklin Street. It is also believed that the area was posted no parking. When the new sidewalks were approved, the signs were not set back up. To clarify the ordinance, could a new ordinance be made establishing no parking on the even side of Franklin Street from the intersection of Western Avenue to the intersection of Baker Street?
Sorry. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Having seen none, that public hearing is now closed. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Having seen none, that public hearing is now closed. Discussion? Motion?
I think we should do it. I make a motion.
Motion
Establish no parking.
Motion made by Jay Fenn, second by Dan McIntyre. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. New business?
Number 743, 10 Besson Street. Rescind the no parking in front of 10 Besson Street. I have a letter here from Ali Riza, who is the owner of Dee's Corner. My name is Ali Riza, and I am the owner of Dee's Corner convenience store located at 37 Essex Street, Lynn, Massachusetts. There is a no parking anytime sign that is located on the Besson Street side of my building that I am requesting to have removed so that I may have use of it for parking my vehicle during working hours. The reason for my request is that I have limited amount of spaces for my customers in the front of the building, and the area on Besson Street side would open up the space that I am presently using for my vehicle. Thank you for your consideration and well cooperation in this matter. I am very truly yours, Ali Riza.
Any thoughts, any discussion?
Yeah, that's not, my personal opinion is that sounds no longer required, because there have been changes in that area.
Okay.
The school's not there. So I would support rescinding.
Do I hear a motion for a public hearing?
Make a motion for a public hearing.
Motion made by Dan for a public hearing. Do I have a second? Seconded by Jay. I'm sorry, JT. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Schedule a public hearing.
New business. Request from Councilman Losey. Request from one of his constituents. And they are asking to have the stop sign replaced at the corner of Waterwood Road and Millard Avenue. Years ago, children took it down at the time it didn't matter. However, since the new traffic configuration at the top of Millard Avenue, there's much more traffic coming from Longwood to Millard. Cars do not stop, and I've had the threat of an accident 3 times. I'm sure others have as well. Diana Gavalianos.
So there is no current ordinance though, right, to support that?
No ordinance.
But there was a sign?
There was a sign, but
made by JT to schedule a public hearing. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Dan. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Old business number 741 is regarding the downtown area changes that I apologize I wasn't here last month, but you gentlemen and ladies had some conversations with some of the downtown residents. Just to do a quick follow-up, following the April meeting, I sent a copy of the list of the proposals that we got from the Downtown Lynn Neighborhood Association to our traffic unit to do as formal as they can, survey of some of the needs down there, and I got that back and I shared it with the commissioners separately last week via email. I've also had conversations with EDIC Director Jim Cowdell, Community Development Director Jamie Marsh, although that's been by email and phone tag. I spoke with Leslie Gould from the Area Chamber of Commerce today, as well as some of our other police officers. So, a couple things. I think the biggest thing we need to do is get, if we're going to do any changes downtown, any substantial changes downtown, I think we need to coordinate that amongst all those parties I just mentioned, and maybe a couple others who may have a stake in the game down there, because it's, I think everybody would agree, it's a very confusing scheme down there. This study that was presented by EDIC a couple months ago at the city council meeting has got some changes in there. I don't know where this is going. My personal opinion is there's some good stuff and there's some not so good stuff in here that I'm not really supportive, but instead of having everybody going in 4 or 5 different directions, it needs to come together. So the people I spoke with, everybody agreed to at least sometime before our June meeting, maybe we can have a sit down. It can't be with the entire commission because it would be a meeting, so I'm going to suggest maybe Jay Fenton and myself meet with Jim Connell, Jamie Marsh, and maybe somebody from the other groups to come up with a plan. I think ideally what I would like to see would be maybe a certified traffic engineer do a comprehensive study, bringing all people's ideas and thoughts to the table, including the Lynn Neighborhood Association, the chambers, and obviously the city agencies. But in the short term, on that document that I circulated from our traffic unit, there was one thing I would just like to throw on the table for discussion, because I think it's something we might be able to do as a quick fix, especially when we're coming into the summer season and we have new restaurants open and new businesses trying to get down there. But that would be number 2, adding more information to existing parking signage to indicate the days and hours that they are in effect, where it's lacking, and ensuring that they reflect actual hours of enforcement. I think in a nutshell, and I've had a brief conversation with Jay Fenn today. I'll let Jay take the ball here in a minute. Some of these things with the timed restrictions are really not applicable 24 hours a day. They're really just applicable maybe during the business day. But Jay, if I could yield to you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, as Kevin has said, looking at all these issues, I think it has to be done in a comprehensive way, because otherwise we're going to run into all kinds of issues. Example, I think there's one thing in that report that refers to a particular street that's currently one way, they want to make it 2-way. Well, just by the very nature of doing it, if that were to happen, okay, signage would have to change because it would no longer be appropriate. But this one issue that Kevin has identified, I think there is something that we can do about it in terms of not necessarily going in and changing the time restrictions of the signs. For example, 1 hour parking, 2 hour versus 2 hour parking. But we could go in probably on an emergency basis and restrict the times in which those time restrictions are posted as. So if it says 1 hour, maybe 8 to 6. Okay. Or if it says 2 hours, maybe 8 to 6. And that will be a beginning of a change. And probably we could do that on Monroe, Oxford, Andrew, and Liberty, those streets that run in the same direction. Until such time as we can address the more complicated issue of whether those time restrictions are appropriate or not appropriate based on what the comprehensive plan is for both on-street and off-street parking. So I would be supportive of making a change like that. We'd have to depend on, unfortunately, on the DPW, but I think the fact that we don't have to remove signs or relocate signs at this point, and we can add, maybe, I understand that there's a process for doing that, I don't know, but.
Whether it meets sign standard requirements or not, I'll look into it, but,
Right.
you know, basically, we do have one gentleman that's dedicated to signs at DPW, and, I mean, he could conceivably go out, take these back in and change them all out, or put in new signs that have the proper lettering in them. So whichever way it falls, we'll just need to do it, have an inventory of it, and budget as we can to get through it.
And as I say, I think it's something that we could do on an emergency basis so that we don't have to wait.
Yeah, on overtime, it'd be more convenient to schedule our guys because they're straight out.
I can't imagine.
So, sure, you know, we'll be prepared to work along with you on that.
Okay.
Make that motion then, or?
Yeah, I'll make that motion. He came in late, but
I don't know, no, I'm
Can I
not
just
allowed to
interrupt?
talk, nope.
Yeah, it's not a public hearing,
No,
so I
I
can't
know.
allow, sorry, I apologize for
Nope,
that.
not a problem at all.
We will have a public hearing on this when we make it final,
Okay.
down the road.
so I would make a motion on an emergency basis to add to the existing signs, the restriction 8 AM to 6 PM.
I'll second.
My only question is to you guys, Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, 7 days a week, is there a, do we have concerns on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say Monday through Saturday.
No.
Is there any, let's say for the short term, for the emergency, what if we did it 7 days a week to see if it comes up a problem, if it poses a problem?
Well, I'm sorry, my intent was that we didn't have to worry about putting a restriction on Sunday with the way we're leaving the signs are going down. So it should be 7 days.
Okay. So the motion would be from 8 AM, the current time restrictions would stay in effect, 8 AM to 6 PM.
Right.
Blanket, okay. Okay, fine with you, second on that one, JT.
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. No. Okay.
Advertises.
Yes, is it 60 or 90 days we have to do the emergency?
90.
90, all right, so we'll put it off till, August. yeah, roll over to September then.
That's-
Okay. All right, so that will go into effect as soon as the DPW can find time and get it done. I think some of the other stuff we're gonna refer, we just make a recommendation. There's some stuff here that's minor about repainting crosswalks and some odds and ends there that doesn't necessarily fall under
Right.
the
We can
the
just,
auspices of the traffic commission. We can just send it over to your office, JT, for whatever.
Well, I've got the list here that were generated, and there's two separate lists, some of them overlap, and we have an inventory of all our crosswalks, and how many linear feet of striping there is for it. We just opened up a bid for thermoplastic pavement markings, and we can use that. We just have to add up the quantities and get that information to the contractor and have them come into the work, so that work can start fairly quickly. We'll watch out for streets that we may be doing some paving on, we don't hit them and have to redo them again, so we'll work on these that were submitted to us in your email, and then weed through them as we can. They can probably knock these off within 5-7 nights or something like that, so.
I assume your office has the schedule for the leaf filming, Black Mass?
Yes.
I know there was some stuff they were looking to leave streets or make some changes.
We've been involved in that, because we're taking some trees down out there too, that they want to remove, replace it afterwards.
All right, and like I said, in the interim, I'll do my best to coordinate the meeting with those other agencies and groups and see where that takes us. Anything else on the agenda there?
So,
That's it. Need to schedule the June meeting, which would be June 17th.
It might be unavailable then.
Okay. After that, we'll put it on the schedule anyway, and we'll go from there. Other than that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.